speaking of memes, let's talk about baseball.
Okay, what a transition.
Let me tell you. Why is it a meme? Because we are the home of the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, we are.
What happened this week? Talk to me.
Yeah, well, when we last left our Rockies, we were losing that game against the Pirates. We did go ahead and take that L in a 9-5 loss as we last left them before ending the recording. And I told you that the Toronto Blue Jays were coming to town. I had not been keeping a very close track on the American League this year. The Toronto Blue Jays are one of the hottest offensive teams of the last couple of months and enjoyed their All-Star break quite a lot and came back out of it hitting just as well as ever.
Young guns do look pretty good.
So they came into Coors Field and everyone was kind of like, I bet that we get 1 or 2 blowouts out of this. No one was quite expecting all 3 games to be absolute whoopings. Now, I will give our boys just the tiniest sliver of credit for, in the second game of the series, putting up a tiny semblance of a fight and not getting drubbed absolutely and outrightly completely. But yeah, it was an ugly no wins in the 3 games from the Blue Jays. The finals on those games were a total of, we had 15-1 in game 1, 10-4, that was the close one in game 2, and then in game 3, a 20-1 loss. We gave up not since 1933, I believe, had a team accumulated 60-plus runs in a 3-game series, and the Blue Jays put up 63 in the 3 different games. That's an average of 21 hits per game.
That is a lot of hits.
Yeah, it's far too many hits. The sign of an absolute collapse and disaster of a bullpen and pitching rotation. Poor Kyle Freeland, I don't remember if it was after game 1 or game 3, but they, doing his locker room interviews, and he was just like, that was bad pitching from everyone.
This poor guy just has to answer all of the terrible questions.
And props to him. He stood there and, gave an honest response where he was like, yeah, the pitching wasn't good, didn't keep us in the game, didn't give us an opportunity, the starters didn't set the tone, relievers didn't stop the bleeding, and you're just not going to win that way. And he's 100% right, which is, part of the reason the Rockies are not a good team. We did get to see a lot of home runs from those Blue Jays, though. Bo Bichette picking up where his daddy left off at Coors Field, and he enjoys the thin mountain air.
A lot of people should.
A very much feel-good series for the Toronto team in their little trip down here to the Rocky Mountains, and leaves us still at 30 wins with an off day on Thursday and then a 3-game set in the desert in Arizona, which we have already lost that series by losing games 1 and 2. We are in the middle of, actually they've just we're still in the first third of game 3 currently as we are recording, but that is a current score of 4-3 Diamondbacks. So not looking great for the boys in purple pinstripes. The magic number for the Rocks now as we wind down the season to avoid the worst record of all time, they need 11 more wins. And that would tie the White Sox of last year with 41.
And we
are on a 6-game losing streak currently.
How many games do we have left now, roughly? Because we have this next week, the week after, and 1 more.
So their record currently is 30-86. That's 116 games played. So we still have another 50 to go.
Possible.
11.
It should be likely right-ish.
It depends on how long these cold streaks go.
That is true. We had a pretty good hot streak there.
Yeah.
An unsurprising one, in fact. But now we're at a pace now where we're winning not quite a third, but we're not losing a fourth, I would say.
Again, it's been fairly inconsistent after the All-Star break because it has looked very... even just coming out of the All-Star break, we had a very different roster than what we've been running out in Arizona currently because been getting even more young kids called up and making MLB debuts. I think we're into double digits now on MLB debuts for the Rockies this year.
Curious if we have to have a record of number of players that have played in a Rockies jersey by now.
It's got to be pretty close for sure. But I will double check on that for next week, because I'm sure we'll still see some more up until September. I don't know when that changed. September used to be like, they expand the roster by 10 spots, and now it's like by 2. So you don't get to see the young kids come up and really let the veterans have a month off in September anymore. But yeah, that is about another 8 weeks left on the docket for the Rocks as well. So yeah, we'll be keeping track of that. That's kind of my new metric for the end of the season here. Just keeping track of that magic number to, are we setting the record or not, baby?
I want us to set the record, but I don't know if it's going to be possible. We are just slightly too good, it feels like right now.
We get on there's enough pockets of talent on the roster, like we said, where some nights a guy will steal a game for you. We've had Hunter Goodman home run us to a couple of wins. We've had surprisingly good pitching from someone every now and then. So it's, not unheard of, but our average right now, I think it's going to come right down to the wire. And the fact that we have still a lot of divisional play left, which means a lot of Dodgers, a lot of Giants and Padres, and
those are butchers.
Exactly. So we still have a series with the Cubs coming up ahead as well before we're out of the year. So a lot of good teams who will be looking to come get their piece of us. So we're out in Arizona now. We're going to go out to St. Louis next week, come back to Colorado to play the Dodgers for a 4-game set. Have the Dodgers. We're going to go see the Pirates again still. We've got to go play the Astros, Giants, Padres. Oh, boy. All of the first half of September is just divisional games.
Yeah, it's not going to be very good.
It's rough out there. We do get to maybe beat up on the Marlins one more time, the one team we swept.
I feel like they're going to get their get back, though. That's the game they have to have marked on their schedule.
It's going to be here in Colorado, so that'll be fitting if we drop that one. Let's see. Oh, we get to see Big Dumper before the end of the year, too.
We go out there, though, don't we?
We sure do. Yeah, it's going to be Marlins and Angels, and then that'll be the last home series. We'll go out on a West Coast road trip to end the year, Seattle, then San Francisco. Yeah, so I still think we are going to set that record this year. 11 is a lot of wins for this team.
Oh, it is, but I don't know. How many series left? That's the real question.
14 series, varying between 3 and 4 games. Most of them 3. Though.
Is it asking too much to win a game of series? The Dodgers feel
yes.
So
we probably average right now. We're probably averaging 1 every 8 games or so.
Let's do some math here on This Week in Sports.
Oh,
okay, so we know the Dodger series is chalk. Let's say we probably end up getting swept, even if we play their best and when we play their secondary people.
So that is 7 losses right there.
Out of the however many. We just need to figure out if we can win a series. Not possible there. Can we... Who do we play before? Arizona. We might be able to steal one from.
We're competitive. Last night's game, it was a 6-5. It was a tie ball game going into the 9th, but they did blow it in Arizona. So, yeah, Diamondbacks are about the one team we kind of can punch with, but the other 3, I don't think so. I don't even think we're going to be that competitive against the Giants, who aren't that good. But
oh, no, I don't think we can. They just kind of have our number.
Yeah, exactly.
St. Louis?
We didn't. I think the Cardinals swept us last. No, we took 2 out of 3 from them.
We did beat them.
They came to Coors Field earlier.
Possible. That's 2 wins maybe there.
It's possible to steal a couple out of those series. I don't know about if we take one from the Pirates in Pittsburgh. That'll depend on
Houston.
Their pitching, yeah. I don't think we take any from the Cubs.
Let's assume we can take... So
I think the Marlins and Angels, that back-to-back 3-game set, those are probably our 6 best shots at a W for the back half here. Because the Mariners are definitely too good. Giants are too good. So if they can take those 6 and then find 5 more wins, 5 more unlikely wins in the other series.
I have them at 8-ish, roughly. So they'd have to end up winning a series somewhere in here, which...
would be surprising.
Oof. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that way, but who knows?
It's fun to be at this part where it's I kind of see the end in sight, and the tracking is they're not going to make it.
I don't know. There's something in me that tells me they're not bad enough to make my dreams come true. They always like to hurt me.
I mean, that's what we'll be keeping an eye on. We'll see if they can dash your dreams or not.
Tell us about some other baseball stuff that's happening.
Yeah, while the Rockies are out of town this week, getting their butts whooped out in the desert, Coors Field is still hopping and happening.
Out.
A sold-out weekend affair at Coors Field this week to host everyone's favorite new attraction in the baseball world, the Savannah Bananas.
Bananas of the Savannahs.
And Banana Ball came to Denver. If you didn't get tickets, don't feel left out. They sold out within hours of coming on sale. And I was downtown last night, and yeah, there were definitely a lot of fans out.
Oh, so many people.
It was wild. So yeah, I didn't actually see any of the action since I was not there at the stadium. Haven't seen any of the highlights or whatnot yet, but huge turnout. As always, though, they did always put on a good show. Savannah Bananas against the firefighters they play against. It's like the Georgia firefighters or something. Because they have the what's the other ones who are like the Grillers or something?
We went through all these team names. There's the Visitors, the Savannah Bananas, the Firefighters. There's the pink team that everyone loves.
That's the Party Crew or something.
Yep, the Party Animals.
That's
the Texas Tailgaters.
Tailgaters, yeah, not the Grillers.
Yeah, I think they're just called the Firefighters.
Okay, I thought they had a city name or something for convention, but that's fine. It's still fun. I like that it's expanding because I think originally it was just this Savannah Bananas and the Party Animals, and now they've got a couple more teams to wrinkle in there. Yeah,
they're just the Party Animals, the Firefighters, the Visitors, and the Texas Tailgaters.
Okay.
And an alleged new team, and a couple of new teams coming next year.
Fantastic. Well, that's exactly what you want to see out of a event that is, kind of powerhousing its way through growth here. Like, can't think of a league that has popped off this hot, considering that just like, maybe 5 years ago, this was a thing that was happening at like high school baseball fields and whatnot, and they've grown it now to the Coors Field event is their biggest sellout yet. It's the biggest stadium they've been to. Over 50,000 fans for last night's attendance.
It's crazy. So the dude who owns it, I saw an interview with him. They asked him if the MLB's ever approached him to own this thing, and he's like, no, nor would I ever sell it.
Yeah.
His motive for this is just to create a fun experience. Like, there are no like fees or anything with any of the tickets. There's no fees or anything with any of the merchandise. His goal is he just wants to make this as big as possible, and he just believes by doing so the numbers will come in for sure. Like, there's no value he can put or give him to give up basically.
Yeah, which is fantastic because it is working according to plan 100%, and he's 100% right that if you create a product that is at a fair market value and provides worthwhile entertainment, folks will come and see it if you make it available to them. Plain and simple. Don't make them jump through multiple hoops like weird ticket fees and sales and stuff like that. Let it be a fun event to take the family out to, where everyone can come away with a little souvenir from the gift shop and some snacks and have a good time. That's what kind of the dream of baseball used to be, and I think a lot of people would agree that is very much not the reality of a trip to the ballpark for a lot of folks anymore.
Do you think with like the Savannah Ball and how what it's doing, it feels almost like professional sports as we know it today is much less about the sport than it is about the business anymore? Like we spent all week talking about how poorly the NFLPA was doing and why the MLB is not going to is probably going to go on strike here fairly soon. Like it's not like fun as like a sport should be. Like, you're playing a game out there, but there's so much more to it nowadays.
There's definitely, I think, something to be said for like that. The two of some of the more established leagues like the NFL and the MLB are having these issues in a environment, where they've been around so long. There's no way that they haven't like lost sight of that sort of initial premise of this is a game. These are sports that we're playing, and it's sort of like there's an era, and I would say it probably happened in the 90s somewhere, where they evolved past being an entertainment like sports game and turned into a media business. And that has for sure hurt the fan experience of the sporting event, I would say, despite what I'm sure the league representatives would say when they come out with all their press releases that are like, oh, for the good of the fan experience, whatever, tickets cost X amount now or whatever. It's just, there's like a certain size that they've hit in those more well-established leagues that I think the Banana Ball franchise has the fresh, clear eyes to try and steer clear of now, hopefully. Can use that as an example of here's what we don't want to do in our long-term strategy.
Yeah, it just feels the way they present Banana Ball. One is they are the one misconception I think a lot of people have about it is that they're not playing the real sport. They are actually playing a baseball game out there. They are still
playing a game that looks a lot like baseball. There are some wrinkles to it that make it a distinctly different affair, but yeah, it is still a competitive, two teams trying to beat each other.
Yeah, it's not like a Harlem Globetrotters where this whole thing is scripted. You can't, if you can script where a baseball goes, right? You deserve to be in the Hall of Fame in general.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and because that is a thing, and it's difficult to explain to folks who don't really pay attention to sports sometimes without using that as a metaphor. To be like, well, they're playing baseball, but not exactly how baseball plays baseball. And, you can tell them they have some different gimmicks and things going on, but the only thing that tends to make it click for people is kind of like the Harlem Globetrotters. And then they go, oh, got it. And it's I see why you don't want that as the main comparison, but also unfortunately, they are doing something that doesn't have a lot of easy comparison to give it. But I think, it's growing at such a rate where we are not going to have that problem as much, and it'll be like trying to explain baseball to someone, which is its own level of difficulty. My other big note out of baseball this week, we had a big barrier broken in terms of employment in the league. We have our very first woman umpire in the major leagues. Jen Pawal was the first woman to officially be an umpire for an MLB game. She's working the series of the Miami Marlins versus the Atlanta Braves this weekend. Made her debut on Saturday, I believe, as one of the base umpires, and then today, I believe, had home plate duties. So
she's working. I think she had a double header today. In fact, even
is potentially likely with scheduling in the summer and all that. So yeah, but very exciting. Jen has been the sort of barrier breaker for several other levels of minor league baseball as well. So very fitting that they give her the honor of breaking the MLB barrier as well. And it's a tough one because bless anyone who feels the calling to be an umpire, a referee, any one of those rule-keeping jobs in professional sports, because it is thankless and don't know how people do it for a living, because I did it for a summer for teenagers and it sucked.
Yeah, it's not one, you have to be basically born to do the job almost. It feels like there are some names out there in the professional sports whose names we all know because we may or may not have cursed that person out, or we've seen their face on the television so often. It's tough to be a keeper of the game. Like you said, it's thankless, and unfortunately they are just humans and they are not going to get everything right, especially in some of these faster paced games.
Until we bring in the robots.
Until we start bringing in some robots. I feel bad for them in the MLB because that is the first one where they'll have a little bit less control on things as we see I think they're going to be able to challenge the strike zone next year. If I remember correctly.
The automated system will be backing up basically so that if managers can call 2 challenges per game, you got to pick your spots and make sure it's really worth your while to go to the review. It's
also funny to me, like we're talking about, that they're going to make mistakes, but also everyone hates reviews because it takes so much time. So it's like, which would you rather have the game be correct, or would you rather keep the pace and play of the game as is? It's like,
It's tough. Speaking of a little interesting segue here, did you know they have video replay now in the Little League World Series?
I did not know. I'm not shocked.
Right.
But I did not know that. That feels a little bit too far for...
It's very wild. There's been a few controversies. Little League World Series has been happening here these past couple weeks.
Yeah, I can't imagine the Little League World Series are better than the MLB ones.
They are all volunteers for the Little League circuit, so that's fun. And they have this extra layer, of like technology, because I think the pitchers and catchers are also doing the headpiece communication instead of signals. That being said, there was a controversy earlier in the week. I don't know if you saw this. John Boy had a pretty good breakdown on it of a team got warned and then second warning, quote unquote, / partially ejected for a little bit for stealing signs from second. The second plate umpire called a warning the first time he saw a kid do it. They had like a very specific like wipe on the pant leg if you're the base runner on second base for like if you should be taking it or swinging to the batter. And here's the funny thing. It is only in the rule books, not allowed in Little League. Once you get to high school ball, it's they no longer address it in the rule book.
That sounds... No, that needs to be changed because the way... Like we kind of talked about, the way sports have gone now, you start becoming like a freak of nature in these sports at like that Little League level. You can kind of tell whether you got it or not.
Yeah.
Starting there.
Especially because it's if you're not familiar with the format of it, to get into the Little League World Series, you have to be already one of the best teams in your like geographic district and have gotten through a whole extra like a previous year's worth of tournaments and whatnot to come out of your state as the Little League representative. So yeah, these are the kids who are like in it for the long haul, are doing the travel clubs. This isn't just like, oh, I'm playing for my school Little League season in the spring or something. Kids, these guys are serious, guys and gals, because we also have the softball World Series happening at the same time, which I caught a bit of yesterday. That was also a wild game, but yeah. So because that's where I saw them use the replay. They had a bang bang play at first base, and were able to go to video review in Williamsport to go take a look at it, which is a funny thing because it is like, yes, we're giving them the professionals level of production and everything, but there is a that's kind of right on the line to me where it feels like maybe this is too much for the kids.
It does feel like a lot for them. I can't imagine going from that back to your regular circuit.
That's where I was kind of on the fence too, because that is, I think, one of the rewards of making it to it, because it is such a struggle to get to the Little League World Series. Is like, it's kind of fun that it's a little Olympic village for the players and they do their whole like pin trading thing through the week. I think it is kind of fun to let them live sort of the big leaguer fantasy for that couple of weeks in Williamsport. So that being said, the parents go crazy, of course, and had a few instances of less than stellar sportsmanship that have been caught on camera this week.
Sounds about right. Sports parents do be crazy.
Absolutely. And like I said, these are the intense hardcore ones who are doing this all year round.
All year round, they are in all the training sessions with the private trainers. They're probably playing every weekend for the most part throughout the year to just full on. This is life for them. Which
is a thing I was noting with Leo while we were watching. There are some funny things because they interview all the kids, all the players with like, what's your favorite movie or favorite show or whatever. And a bunch of them have some weird answers.
It's always funny to look back at some of those and see those dudes turn into MLB players.
Yeah, for sure. But like for 13-year-olds here in the year 2025, I wouldn't think many of them would say their favorite actor was Tom Cruise.
He's around still.
He's around still, I guess. It's just he's kind of on the old side. And it was a thing of like, oh, these are kids who probably maybe are only watching what their parents are watching or whatever.
Very possible.
So yeah, otherwise their head's in the ball game. Yeah. So next week I'll probably have a report on who's actually won the tournament, because I think all the championship games are happening today.
We like to hear that.